Hello and welcome to this feature interview. I'm Kelsey Hubbard. As you walk around campus this semester, you will see many new additions to the college, including new teachers, new faculty, new students, and even a new marching band. But one of the most noted additions is the addition of the McLaughlin Center of the Arts. Today I have Executive Director of the Arts Center, Lisa Campbell, with me today on set. Lisa, thank you so much for joining me.
You're welcome.
So I would just like to get started with going way back before it was even created. What was the big idea of why we needed the center?
Well, I guess I should say at first that I wasn't here at that time, so a lot of this has been told to me. President Reichert, who was, our previous president of the institution, she had a vision about what she deemed to be a really well-rounded liberal arts college, and that included having an arts center. And I think a lot of it then, the impetus came off of that. Through all of the planning process, which went on for several years, there were ideas about things to be included and excluded, and I think over time most of that evolved as a result of funding, how much money they could raise and how large of a structure to be built. But ultimately it ended with the components that are in the center today.
Awesome. And what exactly is the mission of the Art Center?
Well, it is very much, in my mind, it has a couple of prongs to it. One of them is to expand our teaching and education, not only in the arts, but for all students here. Teaching using the arts across the curriculum is a goal and a vision that I have. Certainly to reach out to the community and serve a better purpose in our public schools, in other social nonprofit organizations in the community, to bring arts opportunities here that aren't being hosted anywhere else in this region to the citizens of this area.
And where did the center get its namesake from?
Well, Mr. McLaughlin, Woodrow McLaughlin, he was a 1937 alum of Emory and Henry College, and his family financially did very well for themselves. He and one of his sons and some other independent partners many years ago started this coal company that emerged into what's now today called United Coal. And he has three sons. One of his sons, Mr. Tom McLaughlin, is also a 1967, I think it's somewhere in the 60s, alumni of Emory and Henry. So they've been very generous to the institution. There are other buildings and streets and things named here for them. But anytime you name a building like this, that's an act or a movement that comes from the Board of Trustees of the college, and they did that a few years ago. Really, it was just out of respect for the dedication that this family has made to this institution over the years.
And I know there's so many different things that are in this building. What exactly is included in this building?
Yeah, it's an interesting mix. We are very fortunate. We have two performing facilities. There's a what's called a proscenium theater that seats 461 people. That space has been designed for live music, theater, and dance, so it's multifaceted. There's also a 120-seat black box theater that's included. The departmental offices for just the theater department are located in the facility. Our new art gallery, which is a beautiful facility, is included, and then WEHC, which speaks to this side of the house in communications. They'll be moving their studios in there very shortly, which is our radio station. And then there's production areas, so that includes costume shop, scene shop, dressing rooms, green room, all of those kind of things to host anybody who is using the facilities. And then we have our administrative offices there tied into the box office operations.
Fantastic. And this is the debut, season. What exactly will be in the McLaughlin Center this year?
Well, there's a number of different events that'll take place. We booked a guest artist series. It has two sides to it. One side deals with visual artists, and that's what gets staged in the new art gallery. This is something the institution's been doing for a while. We just have a much larger and nicer space to host those artists. We look for a variety of disciplines, so 2D, 3D artists, painters, photographers, sculptors, a mixture. And then on the performing arts end, we have a guest artist series that includes musical performances, dance performances, and theatrical performances. So at this point, we've hosted the first two shows of that part of the season. One of them was Liz Calloway, who's a Broadway singer, who did an evening of cabaret. And then just last week during homecoming, our own music faculty took the stage for the first time. Then in addition to the guests that we invite to campus, we have performances by our different music ensembles on campus, our students, and our theater performances, and they'll utilize both of those two performance spaces that I talked about. And then there's a wide variety of lyceums, speakers, panel discussions, all kinds of things that'll go on in the space.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And as the executive director, what exactly is your job in the center?
Well, we all wear a lot of hats, not only myself but my staff. My job is to obviously run it day to day, to book, contract these guest artists that come in. We provide a number of services also for the departmental areas in music and theater, including all the ticket sales, all of the marketing, what I call guest relations or guest services. So if we have artists that visit us, it's our job to host them, hotel rooms and transportation and meals, and basically meeting their needs while they're here. I'm hopeful to write grants and extend artist residencies over time. That's not something I've been able to do yet, but now that the building is coming to a completion, I'm hopeful that I'll get to work on some of those things and more outreach into the community. And then there's all the boring administrative stuff like budgets and looking at outcomes and, just supervising the staff, that kind of thing. Yeah.
And so you said you've already had a couple things in the center. What has been the overall, comeback from that? Has people really enjoyed it?
Yeah, it has. We've had incredibly positive response, which is very exciting. And that's proven by a couple of things. The attendance, for one, has been very good. This past weekend is a prime example. I did something risky that I think people were kind of surprised that we had two performances going on at one time on one evening. So Friday night of Homecoming, the theater department was in the middle of their run with their first show in the Black Box Theater, and then in the main stage theater we hosted a concert with the music faculty, and the attendance was very good for both of them, so it was encouraging. It's not something that I plan to do very frequently, honestly, but we took a chance and it paid off, and the response has been very, very positive to the quality of performances as well. Same thing in the gallery. We have literally seen more foot traffic through the art gallery since we opened the doors with this first exhibition than we probably saw in a semester before. It's just having that added advantage that we're all there together. So if people come to see a show, they take the time to go and view the artwork. And it's an exciting time.
Definitely. I've been in the center and it's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you so much for joining me on set today.
You're welcome.
I'm Kelsey Hubbard and this is your feature interview.